Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, saluting Earth Day on April 22nd with an ongoing commitment to help offset carbon emissions with sustainable harvesting of Missouri forests. Details at choosewood.com.
Well, I just think it's pretty much the way my wife approached the customers and everything, and in the training of the staff. We treat everybody the same, regardless to where you come from. We want to give you 5-star service.
Bridgett and Sonny Lewis are the owner of Drake's Place. And earlier this year, that restaurant in Ferguson got a special assist from a reality TV show.
It was like a breath of fresh air. I just couldn't believe that they reached out to come back to help us.
I'm Sarah Fensky, and this is St. Louis on the Air. Restaurant Impossible featured Drake's Place in February, and host Robert Irvine didn't just offer sage advice on the menu. The show also paid for a major renovation. That episode aired in February, and then in March, much of the country shut down. But that wasn't the end for Drake's Place, or even the end of Drake's Place TV stardom. Restaurant Impossible returned this summer as part of a special season focused on helping restaurants stay alive during the pandemic. It's called Back in Business.
I visited hundreds of restaurants and impacted so many lives.
Oh my God!
But I'd never seen a time like this.
Facing some serious challenges.
Hundreds and thousands of restaurants are closing, and millions of people are out of work.
You feel hopeless, helpless.
The restaurants and families we've helped are being hit hard.
I have nothing if we lose this.
For me, this pandemic is personal.
All right, pack it up. So I'm loading a small crew onto buses, and we're hitting the road to help our Restaurant Impossible family reopen safely and successfully. It's a protocol. It's a system. A lot to do in a very short amount of time.
It's like a brand new day.
It's going to take a lot of hard work, but restaurants can bring communities together. And together, we will bring them back. Let's get back to work.
And that is from Restaurant Impossible, Back in Business. And the owners of Drake's Place join us today to tell their story. Drake Lewis is the chef at Drake's Place. He's better known as Sonny. So, Sonny Lewis, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
And his wife, Bridgett Lewis, runs the front of the house at Drake's Place. Bridgett, welcome.
Well, thank you very kindly for having us on the show. Thank you.
So, Bridgett, you'd been in business as Drake's Place more than 6 years, and then Restaurant Impossible came to town, did this big renovation, brought a lot of attention. How good was business after that first Restaurant Impossible episode aired?
Business was great. We were actually on an up climb. We were busy every day from start to finish. It wasn't like it was like people lined outside the door, but there was constant presence from our customers inside the restaurant. So business was really, really picked up.
Do you think people were coming because they'd seen it on TV, or were the changes that the TV show helped to make leading to word of mouth where people wanted to eat there?
Well, it was both. It was a lot of people didn't know we were there. They didn't know we existed. So that brought in a lot of new customers. There were customers who had probably been before, forgot about us, that returned, and there also was just the whole buzz around seeing all of the buses and tents and all the production out on the parking lot. So it brought a lot of attention.
Well, that was so good, and it seems like you guys were you were moving in such a strong direction, and then all of a sudden, this big thing happened across the nation, completely out of your control. Sonny, when did you realize that the coronavirus was bringing the economy to a screeching halt?
But actually, it was probably the first week, sometime in March, and we noticed that it was just a fast decline. It happened so rapidly. It just shocked us, really. It really did. Mm-hmm. It shut everything down.
That must have been so hard right when everything was going so well. Did you almost have a sense of disbelief, like this can't be happening now of all times?
Yes, we did. We just was, because everything was just going so well. Seriously, it was just we had got new customers, and we was implementing the new items that they had shown us, and it was just working out well. Employees was the morale was good and everything. And then all of a sudden, boom, yeah.
So, Bridgett, what was it like trying to get through those months of spring and headed into the summer? Were you guys in a pretty bad place?
Yeah, when the county stopped dining inside and we were only allowed to, prepare orders for food to go, it was quite a difficult transition for us because our restaurant was mostly dine-in. We did do carry-out, but for us to transition over to all carry-out, it was kind of difficult. But we were able to grasp it and get some business out of it. But it was, the sales and revenue was nothing like before. There was such a decline, and then we were back to worried all over again.
So that was a tough period of time, but then Restaurant Impossible came back. That happened this summer, and we've actually got a clip of your reunion with Robert Irvine.
It looks as good as when I left it, but I don't see anything on the tables to say that we are supposed to be social distancing. That's a problem. Bridgett, Sonny, I'm back. Hello.
Hello.
We're going to be distancing.
Look, hug.
I just want to jump over there and hug you right now.
And that is from Restaurant Impossible, as it featured Drake's Place. We're here today with the owners of Drake's Place. That's Sonny Lewis and Bridgett Lewis. Bridgett, what was it like to see Robert Irvine again in the midst of all this?
It was like a breath of fresh air. I just couldn't believe that they reached out to come back to help us because they knew that we were doing well, and then they knew what the pandemic did to us. So that was just so special to us to see him come back. It really was. It was unbelievable.
He said he came back because he said, quote, "You've got to take care of family." And he says several times through the course of this episode that he feels like you guys are his family. Sonny, do you feel the same way about him? He's this TV guy. Is he kin at this point?
Yes, I do. I feel the same way because he didn't only say it, but he showed it, in many ways, I'm talking about just dealing with family issues and things like that, so that made him part of our family.
Yeah, as you say, he really kind of helped your relationship with your son. You guys were kind of talking at crossways, and he helped sort that out. And then you guys made 3 dishes for him. He said they were all an 11. He just thought you guys were killing it.
Yes.
Sonny, that must have felt good, even in the midst of business being so down, to know that you're still bringing it.
Yes, it did. And then another thing he did, he came in and he offer some different items, because like my wife said earlier, we was mostly dining in because the type of food that we prepare, it's not for carrying out. But when he came back and he said, he noticed that there's some things that we could have on our menu that would help us with this carry out, and he did that. And since then, we have been pretty blessed with having this different type of foods because, we started a smokehouse, and that helped tremendously right there.
Yeah, so he helped encourage you to have your son set up this smokehouse, and he said he was going to turn this into a money-making machine. So that, starting these barbecue products and making that a big feature, that has worked, Bridgett? People are opting for those items?
Oh, yeah, people are loving it. They're loving our beef brisket. You get beef brisket, rib, and pulled pork. So you pick 2 of those items and you pick 2 sides, and people are going nuts over that brisket, especially the brisket and the ribs.
Now, something else he did, you guys basically had your patio closed. You told Robert that after the protest in Ferguson, some people had helped themselves to the umbrellas and the bases on your patio, and the show was able to redo that for you. Has that patio been bringing in people for dine-in?
Oh, my gosh, yes. It's really been helpful for people who still don't feel comfortable with dining inside yet. So, yes, it has brought a great deal of people that prefer to sit on the patio. And it looks so beautiful, and it's just a lively place when it's full with people.
That patio does look great, I gotta say. I'm ready to go there and have some barbecue myself. But I know it's not just the restaurant products you're selling right now. You're also known for your salad dressing, and you've now got a deal where that's going to be going on sale at retailers. I understand that is not because of Robert Irvine and Restaurant Impossible. That's thanks to students at Washington University. Bridgett, how did that come about?
Well, a couple of years ago, we were fortunate enough to get a group of students that were working on their business degrees, and so they came out to help several of the businesses in Ferguson with marketing. And so the students, we allowed them to try our house dressing, which people in the restaurant already love. And so they came up with some marketing for us to be able to sell the dressing in-house. And so they developed they purchased the bottles, the lids, and they came up with the label and the logo and everything. And since then, we sell quite a bit of it out of the restaurant. And now we're working with an attorney to get a trademark. And after that, we're going to respond back to Snooks, because Snooks has approached us with one to put it on the shelf.
That's really exciting. Sonny, tell me about this dressing. What makes this such a hit with people?
This was an old recipe that I had when I used to be the chef at Henry VIII. And, I had to tweak it some. But it's different. It has a different taste to it. Most people say it's more like a creamy Italian, and some people say, they taste that celery bite and a little peppery to it. And it's just amazing. It really is.
So it's a little bit tangy, and as you say, it's got that bite to it. That does sound really good. So you guys have a lot of ventures underway right now. It's great to hear that you're finding ways to make it work even in this weird time. But it feels like so many restaurants right now are suffering, and a lot of them, unfortunately, don't have that friendship that you guys now have with Robert Irvine. What would you want people to know, Bridgett, about the restaurant industry right now and what restaurant owners are dealing with?
I would like for people to know that the restaurants are most definitely struggling, and that, if you have a favorite restaurant that you go to, that you need to really support it, especially small businesses. You really need to support it. And even if doing things like sharing their Facebook post and getting the word out to other people, because, it's unrealistic to think that people will eat at your restaurant every week. But if they do things like, just support you and put it in your budget to come out and support a restaurant at least once a month or something, and share the information that they send out via Facebook or whatever social media platform, I think those are the things that would help. Even if you buy gift cards and all that kind of stuff plays a part.
It's interesting. You're kind of hoping that people can be boosters, not just to dine there, but also help to spread the word and promote that positivity. I couldn't help but notice on this episode of Restaurant Impossible that Ferguson Mayor Ella Jones was there dining, and she called you guys the rock of the community. We actually heard from some listeners saying the same thing. Sonny, what do you think it is about Drake's Place that has people feeling like they're invested in your success?
Well, I just think it's pretty much the way my wife approached the customers and everything, and in the training of the staff. We treat everybody the same, regardless to where you come from. We want to give you 5-star service. I'm not going to say that we don't hit it every time, but that's our goal, is to hit it every time. So, and people just love that, they love my wife's personality, and it carry on through the other employees as well. So,
Well, we have heard that from a lot of people about you guys, and it's great to hear that that some of these changes and these new initiatives are working out, and we just wish you both the best of success. So, Sonny, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
And Bridgett Lewis, also of Drake's Place, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, well, thank you guys so much for reaching out and having us on the segment. We really, really do appreciate it. And hopefully one day you'll be able to come to Drake's Place and enjoy some of that wonderful smokehouse.
Absolutely. I am sold on that smokehouse, and I got to try that salad dressing, so I will be there. And we also do want to mention to our listeners on Friday, we are going to be talking more about this partnership that Schnucks has, where it's partnering with local Black entrepreneurs to start stocking their products in the store. And so we'll have a lot more information about that. Just coincidentally, we're looking at that later this week. So podcast episodes of St. Louis on the Air are available at stlpublicradio.org, or you can subscribe for free on Apple Podcasts, the Stitcher podcast app, or wherever you get your podcasts. St. Louis on the Air is produced by Evie Hemphill and Lara Hamden, with production assistance from Aaron Dorr. The senior producer is Emily Woodbury, and the executive producer is Alex Hoyer. St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. That's 90.7 KWMU. Thank you for listening. I'm Sarah Fensky.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, saluting Earth Day on April 22nd with an ongoing commitment to help offset carbon emissions with sustainable harvesting of Missouri forests. Details at choosewood.com.